Hi everyone, welcome to... This is what I do for like 5 minutes every time I film.
That's okay.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Buckaloo View YouTube channel. My name is Liesl. I'm a knitter, sewer, natural dyer, designer, and spinner. Buckaloo View is the name of my family farm here in northwestern New Jersey. Now I forgot what I'm saying. I use it like a brand name to encompass all the crafty and creative things that I'm doing here on the farm. This is Matt, my husband, and today we're doing the Fiber Friends tag. That is I think it was started by Chevy Rail here on YouTube, and basically us fiber people sit down with our significant other and ask them all sorts of fibery questions.
Fibery.
Fibery, that's a word.
Okay. Fair enough, I'll allow it.
Should we, do you want to say anything? Want to introduce yourself?
No, I'm Matt. I'm Liesl's husband. I'm a guy. I like beer. I do beer stuff.
Massive beer reviews here
I have
on
a
YouTube.
YouTube channel too, and we didn't meet via that, oddly enough. We just both happen to do YouTube stuff. But yeah, I do beer stuff. She does
Garden
fiber stuff, and we encourage each other because I like what she does.
I was very excited when he said he wanted to do this. I think he's more excited than I am about this.
I love yammering the camera. People hate their own voice, not this guy. My voice is fantastic. Very modest, by the way.
Okay, should we dive right in? There's 45 questions
Let's do it.
here. All right. What is your favorite thing I've knit for you?
Favorite thing you've knitted for me? This is a hard one. This is a very hard one
because
she's knitted 2 things for me total. 2 things. She's knitted a hat, which is nice, but she knitted me socks, and that was my favorite by far. I wore them quite a bit. Something like, I don't know if like something. Like
I'm afraid it was like wool moths or something.
Wool moth or like a. It was more likely like a mouse or something. Maybe I stepped in some kind of food or something.
It was in the toes.
It wasn't a natural wear mark. No, it wasn't natural. It was torn. So anyway, I do not have socks right now. My feet are freezing all the time, and it's her fault. So my favorite thing, let's put it this way, my favorite thing that she's ever knitted for me is the next thing she knits, which is going to be socks. So that's going to be my favorite.
I should knit you a few pairs.
Yeah.
A whole bunch.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2. Do you have a favorite thing I have knit or spun in general?
Knit or spun. I know you weren't a big fan of it, but I like the blanket that you did for your bridesmaid for our wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Just because of the circumstances in which you did it. I mean, it was very basic. It was just super thick, chunky stuff, and it wasn't anything crazy. So that just sentimentally, I like that one. But I like your hats in general. I'm a fan of the hats. But see, she models the hats. She takes pictures of herself wearing the hats, so then I get to look at her face. Look at that. I love that face. So, yeah, I like the hats you do. It's that, there's one in particular. Is it the one that you just posted a picture of? The green one, right?
Green one?
Yeah, you said you're going to recreate or something like that.
The henny hat? The one that I'm going to,
I like that one.
That was, I think, my first published design. So I'm knitting one right now out of alpaca yarn, so that's probably why you saw it on Instagram. Do you like that one?
Yep.
I'll have to wear that more.
Yep.
Maybe I'll knit you one.
Just a hat, though. Just wear just a hat, and only the hat.
All right, number 3. Does it annoy you when I knit in public?
No, I like it. I drag her to a lot of breweries. I travel a lot for doing my beer stuff. I go to a lot of different breweries and just go to breweries in general because, I do a lot of stuff with beer. And she brings her knitting with her and she does it. And I like that because, I know it can be boring, like she encourages what I do with the beer stuff and vice versa, me with her doing her fiber stuff and all the stuff she does on the farm. And I don't want her to never not do that. And I feel like she feels the same way about me and the stuff that I do. So I like it that she's, I'm not going to say enjoying some of the trips that we go on, but at least she's doing
I'm not into beer.
Yeah, she doesn't like it. Even though I make her taste every single one.
While I'm waiting for him to finish his beer, I can knit.
And then that's great, and I like it. Now the only thing that bothers me about it is that she's very what's the word I'm looking for? She's a introverted hermit, in that she doesn't want people to know
I'm very shy.
that she does the YouTube stuff and has the shop and stuff like that. So she's kind of presenting herself in that manner out in the public. So every now and then it seems like it. If someone says, "Oh, what are you making it?" Like immediately she gets stressed out by it, you know. So that part I don't like, but no, I like it when you do it. I like it when you're. Here's the thing, man, I'm going to talk way too much in this video.
It's gonna be really long.
But it's like one of my favorite things, and there's many things I love about Liesl, but one of my favorite things about a relationship is that I can do my things and she can do her things, and it's not a matter of I'm going to go do my things or I'm going to go do this. We just do them because it's organic to what we do, and it's not. No one it's not like, oh, you're doing that thing again, or why are you doing that thing, or stop doing that thing and watch Jeopardy with me. I actually say that every now and then. But yeah, I like it when she does it because it's just, I don't know. It makes me happy when she's happy, and Minnie makes her happy. So, yeah.
Are we still technically newlyweds? It's been
Yeah,
5 months.
We are.
That's really.
Yeah.
We're still in that phase right now.
You can send gifts too.
All right, number 4. What's your favorite fiber festival we've attended and why?
That's gonna be hard. Fiber.
We've never been to any fiber festivals, have we?
No. I mean, would you count going to an alpaca thing? That's kind of sort of.
Oh, National Alpaca Farm Days.
Yeah.
That's probably the only thing close to a fiber. We're going tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going tomorrow. We're going to Rhinebeck tomorrow. I'm excited to go for the festival and also go do beer stuff while I'm up there. So yeah, I mean, we haven't really been to much. We went to Alpaca Farm about 3-4 weeks ago, and that was fun. I actually really enjoyed it. Actually, you watch her last podcast, and it's on YouTube. And there's a bunch of video and stuff of all the alpacas. Yeah, I took all those. I was like, oh, look at all the alpacas and stuff. She's totally bogarted my footage, copyright. You owe me royalties on YouTube. YouTube,
yeah.
Give me that dough.
It's mine is yours.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's yours is mine.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5. Does it bother you when I drag you to yarn stores?
No, not at all. It's actually quite the opposite. Sometimes it seems like she goes, no, I don't want to go. And I almost have to
I don't think I trust myself.
force her to go. She's very picky, though. She gets in there, and we've gone to several, and she's just like, she buys a couple things. I don't think you've ever been like, oh, maybe you do have, like, I only want to spend this amount of money, but I don't think you're like, oh, I wish I could have bought all that other stuff. It's more like, you're picky. You like specific stuff. It's called gray and brown, earth tones, by the way.
Neutrals.
Neutrals. And so it's like I've never seen you kind of like leave a place like down about, oh, I wish I would have bought that. You know what I mean? So, you know, I don't know. It's like I have to drag her to them sometimes. I think she doesn't want to go to them. Like the whole shtick between us doing like the beer and yarn stuff together is like, let's do a day trip on a weekend. I love driving. I'm like, it's my favorite thing in the world. I'd like to go on day trips. She doesn't like them all that much, but I drag her along, and it was like, okay,
they last too long.
I'm like,
we're out for hours and hours.
That's
and hours.
called a day trip. It's called a day trip. I mean, it's usually like, okay, we're going here, find some yarn stores. And sometimes she kind of fights me on it. She's like, I saw a place, but I don't want to go. There's a lot of cheesy yarn stores out there too. So
sometimes I look at their like what they stock and I think there's
no, I get that too. You know what I mean? So
I like to find something like local in the shop. You know, I like them when they carry something local or unique. You know.
But yeah, no, it doesn't bother me at all.
Okay. Number 6. What is the coolest thing you've learned from my addiction? I'm gonna change that to obsession. That's really not a bad thing.
Yeah, addiction is a bad word.
Yeah.
What have I learned? That I have, because it's about me all the time, that I have tendencies, like, you know, Liesl doesn't like beer, she doesn't like sports, and all that stuff, and I have a competitive side to me, and a very aggressive side to me, not in a negative way, but when I do things, if I film things, if I do sports, like it's heroin or something, I have a kind of like I'm hard on myself, and I didn't know she had that side of her for a long time, but I see it come out sometimes when she knits. She gets frustrated if things aren't perfect. Some people might view that as a negative, and I view that as a positive. So I learned that she's She has that. She's very quiet and very kind of subdued, especially on camera and what she does on the internet. But there's a drive inside of her, and a drive to be, good at what she does, and I see that come through in her knitting. So that's probably it.
Number 7.
She's gonna cry.
No, I'm not. Have you ever wanted to knit yourself?
Yes, I have. I have wanted to knit.
I'm going to film me teaching you.
But I've also wanted to learn the piano. I've also wanted to learn how to speak Japanese. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I'll knit something just because I'd like to, I don't know, pay back for how many beers I make her taste, maybe, or something. But I'd like to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I know how to sew, and I know how to bake, and I know how to cook. It's like, the whole kind of like, typical male, female, like, this is what men do, this is what women do. I never really abided by that thing. So there's no like, I don't want to knit. That's the girly stuff. I don't view it as that. So, and it's creation. It's fun to create things. I like creating stuff, so yeah, I'd give it a whirl. I don't know if I'd like it. I don't see myself. I don't have the patience for it. I'm a little bit more instant gratification.
You'd learn how to do it, but I don't think you keep doing it.
Yeah,
it's not something you would enjoy.
Yeah, I have a little bit more instant gratification. So.
Do you think the microphone's picking that up? No,
it's probably you can hear Jerry, but it's not as loud as you think it is.
Our goat's screaming because he wants to go back in the barn.
Well, that and he sees Pepper and
he
wants a
the
piece.
Oh, number 8. Yeah. Does it bother you when I buy yarn?
No, not at all.
You haven't seen the full extent of my stash problem.
No, not at all. I know. I've seen it. No, it doesn't bother. I encourage it, and you know what I mean. I feel like you should treat yourself a little bit. Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna remind that.
Just not tomorrow. You're not allowed to buy anything tomorrow.
What do you think about me podcasting?
I think it's awesome. I do it, so it
helped me a lot.
It validates.
Get better.
It validates me not being a crazy person that talks into a camera by himself. No, I like it. I think she's good at what she does, and both on the podcasting front and also like the fiber front, and she likes doing it, and I like it. It was a positive from the get when I found out that you did it, so I dig it.
Okay, number 10. Do you know the difference in weights of yarn?
Yeah, it's the thickness.
Yeah, but like, do you know the names?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, what are they?
What is lighter, fingering or worsted?
No, I assume fingering. But no, I know there's different weights in yarn, and I know what they mean, but I don't.
Do you know the difference in weights of yarn? So
no,
you just answered it yes.
I know. No, I do. I know. I know a heavy-weighted yarn is thicker, and I know a light-weighted yarn is thinner. But yeah,
Smart thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, number 11. Do you have a favorite yarn dyer? I don't.
Yeah, Liesel.
You don't really follow it enough to know.
Yeah, Liesel.
Okay. Some of these don't really apply that well.
That's
Number 12. Do you know how much an average skein of yarn costs?
My guess is $26.
It's pretty close. Yeah. Between 22 to 28 for indie dyed yarn. I saw mine for 24.
Yeah,
so.
20. Well, I see 26 because I've seen cheaper than 20. Obviously, but I've seen some really expensive ones.
What skein of yarn? What does it comprise? Is it cashmere or is it?
Yeah. So I mean, 20. 20. Yeah, $26. It kind of just popped in my head as far as an average goes.
Pretty close. Yeah. Number 13. If I were to ask you to buy me yarn, what would you do?
What would I do? I would go to a yarn store, and I wouldn't buy it online because I don't know. I don't know enough about it to buy it online. But I know the colors she likes. I know the texture. I know I know she likes, like you said, neutral colors. Your browns, your earth tonies, kind of neutral colors and stuff like that. And I also know the weight she typically likes, and I know. Like, if I look at it, if it has, like, a glossy shininess to it, that's going to suck. You know what I mean? Like, just get something that's as organic and as, non-synthetic as possible in the neutral. Sheepy. Sheepish. So, yeah.
Okay, number, 14. 14. How many balls of yarn do you think I could smuggle in the house in a month?
Smuggle? I don't get
Smuggle
that question.
anything.
Let's put it this way.
I think these are for like people that try to hide it from their significant
Yeah,
other.
she would never do that. Do you know what I mean? Like
I'd
that's
be like,
what
look at the yarn.
yeah, she would show me immediately. I'm never gonna be like, oh my god, why'd you buy all that yarn, or kind of cast judgment, negative judgment on her for buying it. So all of it, she can smuggle all of it because she's not gonna smuggle nothing, zero, because she wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? Because you know, I want her to buy it.
This one's good. Can I yarn bomb the house?
Yeah, sure. Just not my little beer room.
Do you know what
That's
yarn
it.
bombing is?
Yarn bomb? I don't know. It's just leave your projects all over the place, I assume?
No.
What?
It's when you cover something. Like, a lot of times they'll do it in, like, cities or towns, and they'll, like, cover a lamppost or, like, a railing or something, or, like, a meter for, like, a parking meter.
Okay.
Like, it's when you, like, if I could yarn bomb that tree. Like, you put, like, a
you
knitted
can do
thing
it all,
around
just
it,
as long
all
as
around the
it's-
house.
Just don't put it on the TV.
All around the
no,
beer
don't put it
fridge.
on the TV or my glasses or anything in my beer room. I'm good with it. You can do
Okay.
it. You could do it too, as long as
I
you
don't
just.
really, that's not really my thing.
No, that's kind of cheesy. It sounds. I mean,
It's
outdoor. I get it in like an outdoor environment as
Mhm.
like a show, like almost like an installation piece.
Some like
but-
charities do it for like raising awareness, you know, like things like that. You
Yeah.
know, there's like a reason to like draw attention to it or something. But yeah, it's not really my thing. Number 16. Would you say I'm obsessed? I'm guessing it's interested. Obsessed, interested, or dabbling in fiber?
I don't like the word obsessed. I don't think it plays well. If I had to pick one, it would be obsessed, but I wouldn't use that word. I would be. It's what she does. She, you know.
Passionate, maybe?
Yeah, but it's you know, not to overuse the word organic, but it's organic. It's like it's what she does. It's what Liesl does. You know, she has a farm. She's putting together to get sheep. You know, she spins wool. She dyes it. You know, she sells it. Like it's what she does. So, you know, I forget who coined the phrase, but you know, there's the phrase that, you know, pick the thing in life that you love and figure out a way to get paid for it. You know what I mean? That's the kind of modern goal in life, is to, you know, do what you love. And that's what she's doing. So it's like obsessed is a bad word. I don't think it's a negative word because
Well, it's like addiction, yeah. And
yeah,
it just sounded like
It's more it's that level of intensity for her passion in yarn, but I wouldn't use the word obsessed.
Okay. So I have a very high
Yeah.
level of interest in what
Yeah.
I'm doing,
Yeah.
obviously. Okay.
You have a YouTube channel and
I
Instagram
know,
for it.
right? Yeah, I'm going that far, yeah. Okay, number 17. What is really going through your mind when you go to a local yarn store, festival, or I get yarn mail?
Well, yarn mail doesn't really affect me all that much because it usually
during the
arrives
day.
when I'm at work or something like that, and I don't see it all that much.
Until it ends up on YouTube or something.
Yeah. Now, if you want to ask her what she feels about beer mail, when I get beer in the mail, that's a whole different story. So I'm never going to get...
viewers are watching, please put the beers in smaller boxes because I have to try to fit them in my fridge till he comes home.
But what was the beginning of that?
What's really going through your mind when I go to a local yarn shop, festival, or I get mail?
Nothing. I mean, the festival is like, okay, what kind of breweries are close to it? That's what goes through my mind when that happens. No, I mean, the yarn store thing, I get bored in them sometimes because they really don't do much for me. I try to, you know, be interested in some stuff, but you know what I mean? It's like sometimes you see them all. But then again, you know, like the local place to us, they have a cat, so I just fuck with the cat. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I find somewhere to sit and check my phone. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't bother me. I'm never like,
there that long.
I'm never like, oh my god, I need to leave this place right now. I never do that. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's also like, it's not my thing. It's her thing. I'm glad we're there because she loves being there. But at the same time, it's not for me. So I'm not gonna like. If I faked all this crazy interest, you'd be like, why are you being a fake fuck right now? You know what I mean? Like, stop being like a fakie. You know? Yeah.
Okay. Number 18. If you could have the grammar in here isn't all that great. If you could make me anything, what would it be? I'm assuming they mean like fiber. I didn't even see this one when I first.
If I could make you anything.
Oh no, sorry. If you could have me make you one, yeah, that makes more sense.
Oh,
I'm like,
socks! I want socks really
Okay.
bad. Like, you have no idea how many socks I
should
want.
zoom in, 'cause this isn't very...
I want another hat too. I want another winter hat. She made one. It's quite nice, but
it's just a rib beanie.
but
with
it's
like an
very
alpaca.
thin. I wanted something a little bit.
Well, then we have
denser.
to like look over. You have to help me find yarn and patterns and stuff and see what you like.
Okay.
Okay. Number 19. If I've already made you something, do you wear it?
Yeah, the socks I used to
There's
wear all
only
the
two
time.
things. Yeah.
And the hat I actually wore
you
pretty
wore
much all
quite a bit,
winter. I just
yeah.
kind of ditched it when I got warm.
Well,
out,
yeah,
you know?
that's all. Okay, number 20. Another use for knitting needles would be...
Oh my God, there's so many uses for them, man. I could do so many things with knitting needles. Like, I could use them to like eat. I could probably poke food with it and shove it in my face hole. I'd probably open a bottle cap with it, shish kebabs.
You could open a bottle cap with
I
anything.
could. I mean, depending on the sharpness, I could probably like pop a pimple or something with it or something. I don't know. I could stab an intruder. I could use it to like pry open compartments in cars when I'm rewiring stuff. I could endless. I could do so many things with knitting
Definitely
needles.
like a main item in
Chopsticks.
like a MacGyver toolkit.
You have those wood ones. It'd be great.
Okay.
Chopsticks. Yeah, no, I could do I could destroy all her knitting needles if I've come close to grabbing it, going, I could use this to do this. I'm like, don't put that down. Go find like a screwdriver or something to poke that thing.
Pry something open.
Pry something open. So yeah.
Best thing I've made, in your opinion? I feel like that's redundant. It's like the other one. There was another question just like that.
I don't know.
Favorite
You know what? You know what
thing,
I really
best
like?
thing. What's the best? Like the most? Like probably like the most technically.
I like a
nice
lot of the
thing.
shawls you do.
Okay.
So, I mean, I really like the little like jacket thing you made for the baby.
Just recently,
Yeah.
the little baby child sophisticate
Yeah.
shawl collar. That was very cute. It was like a little old man sweater.
Yeah,
I want one like an adult
I
size.
know. I really like that just because I was like, oh my God, that's so cute.
Yeah,
But
it's adorable. Okay, number 22. What is my stash really like? Do you think I could do with more or less, and why?
I mean, you could do. I think you could do with more because I want you to have everything you want. See her stash though. Honestly, I'm not that exposed to it. Her
Yeah.
stash is actually like in a separate room. That's like her sewing and knitting and fiber room.
You only just went in there. I think.
And I haven't been in it in months. I went there. Yeah, yesterday I was in it. So I don't go in it all that much. I mean, there's shit everywhere.
Since we moved.
But I honestly, I don't think you have like a ton of yarn. I think you have like.
It's all in like bags and baskets.
It's like people with me. They're like, "Oh, can I get a video of your cellar?" I'm like,
I don't have one.
I drink all my beer. You know what I mean? You actively knit so often that I'm not saying you don't have a lot. You have a decent amount, but I don't think it's
you
as
aren't looking
gigantic.
deep enough. I think it's too much. It's a little overwhelming at times. So that's probably why I don't want to go.
Jerry doesn't think so either.
I don't know if
Right, Jerry?
Hey, Jerry.
Now he shuts up.
Well, he's scratching himself on the side of the barn. Number 23. How do fiber crafts help me?
I think they help balance you. You know what I mean? Like when I talk
mental
about,
health kind of-
I talked about that kind of like that competitive kind of wanting to be really good at what you do. That can be an unbalancing frame of mind sometimes. But I think when life is crazy and things are whatever, it's just, you know, everybody makes fun of the word, but it's a safe place. Do you know what I mean? It's a place you can go and just, you know, you just get lost in it in a good way. You're not like eschewing responsibility and like being like, I don't want to deal with life. It's not like that. It's like, you know, it's like it's a balancing point. It's a harmonization point. You know what I mean? That gets you, you know what I mean? Kind of in a good frame of mind.
All right. How much money do you think I spend on yarn?
Not that much. A month, less than like a skein a month max.
Lately, especially. I haven't bought much.
Yeah, it's not that much. No.
Been given a lot of yarn lately, so.
Yeah.
All right. Can you explain the difference between knitting, crochet, weaving, and spinning?
Well, I mean, spinning is you're actually taking the fiber and you're creating an actual like yarn out of it. I mean, that's super simple. Weaving is like you take the actual fiber itself and then you have to use like a weaving apparatus to actually like kind of move all the threads of fiber in a certain pattern. Knitting is, you know what I mean? You have your 2 needles and then you do your stitches and stuff, and crocheting's for losers.
No.
No.
I can't learn
I wonder where I learned that one.
I can't learn it. I've been trying.
And then crocheting's just 1 needle.
Yeah, it's just one hook. Yep. Good enough. How do you explain me being a knitter to others?
I mean, it's usually like a 15-minute like spiel session about how awesome you are, and it's usually all encompassing. No, I mean, when people ask me what you do, I just start from the beginning and talk about, you know,
just go like yarn.
Yeah, pretty much yarn. That's it. But now, you know, I talk about how, you know, you spin it, you dye it, you know what I mean? You make stuff out of it, you saw patterns, you know, it's kind of like a, you know, part and parcel of who you are as a person. So it's kind of like when people ask me about you, I actually do tell them about that because it's a part of you. You know what I mean? It doesn't define you. If you didn't have to do it anymore, I'm sure you'd still be as fantastic as you are now. But, you know, it's pretty easy. Okay. I show them pictures on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I do.
What is one thing you wish I liked to do as much as fiber stuff?
I was going to say something real horrible. I honestly don't know. Like, I'm not saying this for the video, but she's so awesome, like, to me in general. Like, everything's awesome. Like, I'm literally wouldn't change a thing. Okay, I got one.
Do I want to hear this?
I got one. Ask the question again.
I went past it. What is one thing you wish I liked to do as much as fiber stuff?
Promote herself and open herself up to talking to people and exposing herself inside that community. So, you know what I mean? Like when we went to the alpaca thing in the farm, like the 2 girls that run the alpaca thing, they were like talking to her, and I almost had to like push her into the conversation to get her to talk. And like they're like, oh, you're so tall. That's the first thing everybody always says because she's mad tall. But it's also like, not necessarily, you know, I don't like it either. Like, I go into, like, she sees it, I go into, like, breweries and stuff, and people ask, you know, oh, are you that guy? And I'm like, I get a little sheepish. But once I get it behind me, my head gets all big, and I'm like, I'm king shit of fuck mountain. She doesn't do that. And I wish she would be a little bit more proactive in that, because obviously it's what she does. And I'm not saying you want to just take what you love and turn it into a strictly monetary thing, but you know, you sell patterns, you sell yarn. It's a bit of a business in there, and it's okay. It's not a dirty word. So I wish she would be a little bit more proactive when it comes to that. As passionate about promoting herself as she is that. Maybe I don't want you to be that passionate about promoting yourself, but you know what I mean.
When I started, knitting was like my time. That was like for me.
Yeah.
But I do like have a drive to like connect with other crafty people more so now. Yeah. I'm just shy. I need a little nudge. All right. Number 28. If I were to die tomorrow, what would you do with all my fiber stuff?
I don't know. I don't want to answer that question.
Aww.
I wouldn't do anything with it.
Just keep it and like build a shrine or something?
I don't even want to. No.
Aww. Okay, moving on to the next one. Does it embarrass you when I knit or spin in public?
You've already asked this question.
Yeah, some of these are a little redundant.
Yeah.
Does it embarrass you when I knit or spin at a family gathering?
No.
I don't think if I've done it, it's not like a big deal.
No. I don't think she has, but...
I've never been like obtrusive with it. It's just like...
You meant my family.
That's the least of their problems there, me knitting. What does your family say behind my back about me doing that?
Nothing. I'm not.
Do I really knit
we don't have the Brady Bunch family,
yeah,
so it's not like we're sitting there like talking about what Liesel's knitting schedule is. But no.
What would you say I knit the most of?
It used to be socks,
Yeah, I was on a sock kick for a while.
But lately, it's been like, it's been pretty. There hasn't been consistent stuff across the board. It hasn't just
A lot of shawls lately. But there's just, I haven't knit that much lately.
yeah, no, it's not. It used to be socks. Right now, it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, a lot of works in progress, you know.
Yeah.
Not been complete, I guess. I don't know. What do you think I knit? Oh, why do you think I knit?
Because I think it appeals to you in your sensibility. You know, you live on a farm. It's a very kind of like make your own thing, like nose of the grindstone, like
DIY hipster thing. You know?
Not necessarily. Because no. See, that's the difference between like hipsters and what you do. Is that a hipster like spends like 5 hours to look and set up all the stuff they do to appear to be a farmer. And you are one. You know what I mean? Like it's like you know, like I'm no, and that's fine. It's photography, and it's the essence of a photo is staging the scene. You know, but it's like I always tell people like the hipster thing. It's like I have friends that literally roll out of bed, put their shoes on, put a hat on, get dressed as fast as possible, leave the house, and they look exactly like a hipster that takes 9 hours to get ready. You know what I mean? And my friend's not a hipster. That's organically who he is. So do you know what I mean? Like. You do what you do because that's organic to what you do. It could be something other than knitting. You could have went in another direction, I don't know what it could be, but I think it would still be like
I have a drive to like create
farming country based stuff. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't be you wouldn't be like, you know, into algebra or, you know, iPhones and shit.
Technology.
Yeah, technology.
All right, number 34. How would you rate me on a crafting skill level?
I mean, honestly, that's a hard one to say because on a scale of what? You're talking to a guy who talks about beer and what rate him and talks about it, like.
That's all it says. How would you rate me on a crafting skill level?
I think she's what she does really, really well. I'm not that well versed on it to like be like, oh, she's a 9.3 out of a 10. But I know there's room to grow because I know she's, you know, especially when she spins, I know she likes what she does, but I know she feels she can do better. So there's room for growth.
I'm still newbie with spinning.
Yeah, still. So there's room for growth. Yep. So I think you do. I think what you do is awesome. I think it's pretty as hell, and everybody else I show it, it's like, wow, it's crazy good. And they're not just being nice because I'm an asshole. My friends are assholes. So.
I should probably just skip this one. What would you do with my stash if I died? It's not like the same question as before.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think we do at knit night?
You knit at night? No.
I haven't really gone to night. Like I've gone to like a couple.
No,
of knit
you sit
gatherings.
there. You sit there, and then you kind of probably show off some of your stash a little bit. You bring a couple things. Listen. In the beer community, you have what's called beer shares. You go with a group of guys, and you sit in a room, and everybody brings a bunch of beers, and you open them, and you drink them, and you taste them. That's essentially what I assume knit night is. You get a bunch of yarn together, you go, you knit something, you show off different kind of stuff you procured over the day, you talk about a little bit of knit gossiping, and call it a night.
A little knit smack on some of the people.
Yeah. Knit smackdown, son.
How many subscribers do you think I have on my podcast? Not as many as you.
Not as many as me. 800? How many?
It's like 950 or 960.
Okay.
I'm trying to get to 1,000.
I know
do a giveaway.
I know she was close to 1,000.
Yeah, I was going to do a giveaway when I hit 1,000. How many followers do you think I have on Instagram?
No, she has more than me. I want to say 5,400.
I think it's closer to like 5,000. 5,100 maybe.
Okay.
Something like that.
Over 5,000.
It's like plateaued for
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm kind of boring, so. Have you ever watched my podcast?
Yeah, I watch it all the time.
I don't watch yours that much.
She used to all the time.
Yeah, I used to. Okay. What's your favorite podcast, Fiber or Not?
My favorite podcasts.
Answer correctly.
I have two. My favorite podcasts, other than Liesl's, but here's the thing. I wouldn't call yours a podcast. I would call it a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
it's
a
not really a
things.
podcast. Like it's it's so traditional
podcast.
podcast.
I don't expect you to pick mine. What's your favorite podcast?
Podcast? Two of them. My favorite podcasts are Steal the Beer. It's a beer podcast about beer, and I listen to it all the time. I think it's awesome. I've actually been on it twice. A bunch of guys out of Jersey, a brewer, Augie Carton, Carton Brewing in New Jersey, and John Hall. He's a editor, Beer and Brewing magazine. They host it. It's really witty and fun. I like that one. And then, this might be cheating, but there's a sports and society and culture podcast called The Ringer. It's headed by a guy named Bill Simmons. But they do everything.
That's on
they
all
cover,
the time.
yeah, they cover sports and popular culture and comedy and all that kind of stuff. And that's pretty much my go-to one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, maybe if people are into beer and that kind of thing, maybe they'll find a new podcast to listen to.
There you go.
All right. What's your favorite episode so far? Of mine. I don't know.
I don't know if there's one that I really gravitate towards. Anytime she mentions me, that probably is my number one. No, I mean, I really enjoyed the podcast leading up to and immediately after you got married, because you couldn't help yourself but talk about us getting married and going on our honeymoon, so that just made me happy. So those ones in particular.
Okay. Sounds good. If I knit you a sweater, would you wear it, even if it's hideous?
Yes.
Really? I'm going to knit you one next year for Rhinebeck. You can wear it.
There you go.
Okay. If you could dictate a monthly allowance for yarn, how much would it be?
$100.
Really? Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I need to go on a fiber diet?
No.
Okay. And this one, I think there's a typo here. How much do you think is worth? I think it's how much do you think my stash is worth? All of my yarn. How much do you think it's worth altogether?
25. $1,200.
I have no idea. Can you think of it?
What are you doing?
No, I was just watching the like.
Oh, $1,200.
Okay. Probably worth more than that. I have no idea.
No, because
I don't think you realize how much yarn I have like tucked in baskets and bags and all kinds of stuff. How long have I been knitting? 7 years. I've been knitting, so I'm acquiring yarn. Okay. All right. So that's all of the questions, but I want to ask you some knitting slang. Don't look at it. Back to where we were.
Okay. Knitting slang.
Knitting slang. I'm going to ask Matt some questions about like some different.
How do I do that? Bloods. Isn't that how do you do a
I
thing?
don't like him. All I know is this. Knit, knit.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Knitting slang. I'm going to ask Matt some questions about. I'm going to throw some different slang or abbreviations or terminology and see if you can guess what they mean. Do you know what a cake is in regards? This is all in regards to knitting. A cake.
Cake. What is
a cake?
What is a skein kind of wrapped back into a ball, like a
Define the
usable
word
ball?
cake when it applies to knitting.
What is?
What is this Jeopardy now?
It's when you turn a skein into a thing where you can knit from, right?
Yeah, you put it into that round thing. Yeah. On a ball winder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. It is.
All right. What about DPN? What does that stand for?
DPN. I want to go to like measurement, like dots per knit or something like that. That's where I want to go. I have no idea.
Double pointed needle. I don't use them though. I use Magic Loop method. Okay. What do you think Magic Loop is?
Magic Loop is a beer by Sloop Brewing. Actually, it's called Magic Loop. It's double dry. Yeah.
Really?
No, I'm lying.
You make me know a knitter. Very gullible.
I'm a great liar.
All right, I'm gonna skip some of these because I don't even use them. What about an FO?
A fundamental observation, which is a beer, but no, FO. It's a. I have no idea, babe.
Finished object. It's a little. Yeah, there's mosquitoes out. It's crazy. Middle of October. What frog? FROG. Frog.
No idea.
I'm like for the sound. Rip it, rip it, rip it. It's when you undo all of your work. And you rip it out.
Okay.
All right.
I call that rage quitting.
KAL or Cal.
KAL. Knitting at laundromat.
This is a knit along.
Okay.
A lot of people knit together.
You could knit along at a laundromat, so that works too.
LYS.
LYS. Long yarn stroke.
Local yarn store. I'm gonna skip some of these. I don't know, Muggle is a non-knitter. Apparently.
Oh, that's Hogwarts.
I don't really do the whole.
Yeah, it's
I'm
fucking
not
Harry
really
Potter.
into the Harry Potter thing. A lot of knitters are. It seems like pooling.
Pooling. Pooling is, I assume, because from sewing, it's like pooling is like too much yarn in one area where it's not spread out properly.
Kind of. It has to do with color, though. It's when a variegated yarn all gathers in the same spot, and it creates like a pattern. Like if you have a continuous string and there's certain colors, and then they end up pooling together to create. Sometimes people like it because it kind of looks like tie dye or something, But most people don't. You have to do things to avoid that.
Yeah.
Okay. There's puddling, which I never use. It's similar to pooling, but more like a blotch. I never use that word. Tink. T-I-N-K.
Ooh. Oh. Pass. No. I don't know. When I hear K, I think knit. T-I-N, so it's like...
T-I-N-K.
And to infinity and K-ond? What?
It's knit spelled backwards. It's when you undo your knitting.
Oh, you witty bastard, you.
UFO.
Unified Fiber Organization.
Unfinished object.
Okay.
Vanilla.
Vanilla?
Mm-hmm. It's a term used in knitting quite often.
Vanilla is a basic pattern with no frills.
Yes. Vanilla socks. Like that's just when you make plain.
Yeah!
WIP or whip.
Devo zone. WIP, work in progress.
Yes. Very good.
That's not an exclusive to the knitting, by the way.
Okay.
No,
where else do you use it?
Everywhere. I use it at work.
Whip?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if I'm in the middle of a task and I have to write a report on it and be like, that's work in progress. WIP.
Okay, much. I don't know. Yarn barf.
Yarn barf is when a cake or a skein just gets untangled and thrown in a pile.
Yes. Big lump of yarn that comes out of a new ball of yarn.
Mm-hmm.
And then yarny.
That's the person that's in a yarn or yarny.
Yep. All right, this was just a little list I found online. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of more slang you could use, but I thought that would be nice to kind of see frog and tink and these weird words that we use. I thought it might be kind of fun. Okay, so that's about it. Thank you for doing this. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you wrangle up your significant other or friend or somebody who's not interested in fiber and sit them down and kind of stump them on this stuff. We should do it with beer. I will do it with beer.
I think we're going to do it.
You come up with a list of questions. I will do it.
That's what I thought about. I was like, we'll do the beer one too. I'm like, no, I'm going to have to put some time into it.
Citra, mosaic, blah, blah, blah. Knitting questions, growler, crowler. I've learned so much about knitting. I would like to challenge myself.
We will. I
to see
think
how
I'm
much.
going to make it happen.
It'll be a tag on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll make one of those videos. People will be into
beer
it.
People will get their significant others sit down.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea.
Stump them.
It's a good idea.
Well, thank you for doing this.
Thank
you for watching. I don't know if I said it in the beginning. BuckleofView.com on Instagram. Massive beer reviews. Or massive
she doesn't
beers?
even know.
Is it
Massive beers. Massive beers.
And then Beer Massive on podcasting channels.
I do the YouTube
Audio
and
podcast.
all that stuff, and then I do actual.
You do reviews on YouTube.
On
for
YouTube,
specific beers.
And I talk about beers and review them.
And then on podcast, you do interview brewers.
I go
talk about beer.
Yep.
Beer
I
culture,
do round tables and opinion pieces, editorials, and I go to brewers and sit down and talk to them and stuff like that.
I wonder if the moon is in the picture.
I hope so.
The moon is out there. It's very pretty. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you next time. Thank you, Matt, for joining in. Bye.
Bye.